Alrighty then, do we have signs of life? Alrighty then, we do indeed. So, howdy. As always, seamless transition in 3, 2, 1. Ta-da! How you doing? So it's Friday. Alright, it's Friday. It's the end of the work week. It has been a long, stressful, well, not super stressful work week. And normally what I do is I wind down with a bit of Minecraft, just the mindless game. But it happens to be Valentine's Day, so I thought, you know what? The most Valentine's-y thing I could possibly do was find a cursed dating sim, play that, have some fun, and see how we go. Now, there's not a formal agreement of this, but there is a certain someone who I might be able to convince to do a tipsy and or drunk karaoke stream if I play this game. Like I said, there's no agreement. No hands have been shaken, no ink has dried on contracts. Maybe, just maybe, I can convince him. Or I fail miserably and fall flat on my face, but I tried. So it's still a win in one way or another. That's what I tell myself anyways, to help me sleep at night. But yeah, I hope you're all doing well. In terms of this week, not much has really happened per se. So it's pretty much just head into work, struggle, is what it is. Everyone's also struggling, so it's not like I'm particularly different to them. Get through the work week, get home, and then do the same thing all over again the next day. Which is the same story for everyone. But we did have an incident that happened today, which I'll talk about briefly, because I find it interesting, and it's one of those things where I'd like to get some suggestions from people, what they feel. So, we came into the office, we were working as normal, right? So you can imagine we're in the office, we're physically there, we're all working away. And one of our colleagues, she's at her desk, she's working away, and then you see her manager sort of go over and say, hey, can we have a talk? And takes her across the other side of the room. Now that's not anything particularly bad or terrifying or strange. Happens all the time. But then you start to hear crying from the other side of the office. It's an open plan office with no enclosed boardrooms. Yay for modern architecture and design, I guess. And then a HR person quickly walks past and goes to get someone that you know is a good friend of the person who has just marched across the other side of the room. And at that point, the writing is on the wall. You're generally able to connect two and two and figure out what the go is. Hey, Ewan, how you doing? Ewan, how you doing? I like the sound of that. How you going? Bonjour. It is afternoon for you. So, good afternoon. Hope you're well. But, hey there, Zane. How you doing? Anyways, where was I? I lost my train of thought for a second there. I mean, it can't have been a very solid train if I've already lost it, but, good, just got home from grocery shopping. How are you? Nice! Alright, anything special in that grocery shop? Any special dishes? Is there a comfort food that's coming through? I'm doing good. Like I said, long work week is finally done. I am now relaxing and unwinding with the most cursed dating simulator I could find. And yeah, gonna have a good time. I should post it on Discord as well, but I made myself steak and eggs the other night. So that was my comfort food, if you will. I bought chocolate, but I forgot to buy strawberries. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Hang on. Okay. Okay. My brain is going in a certain anime-esque direction. Are you making chocolate for Valentine's Day, just like in the manga and the anime? I'm just going to assume you are, and I'm just going to go, aww. But no, it's fine. Enjoy what you enjoy. Do as you like. And it does suck that you didn't get the strawberries as well. This would have been nice. I'm a big fan of strawberries myself. Hatoful Boyfriend. Yeah. That's pretty much the most cursed dating simulator that I could find that is playable on Twitch. I'm sure there's many more. But that is the one that was at the top of some lists and which was recommended to me, so I'll defer to the opinions of those much wiser. I was going to make strawberry with chocolate, but I forgot the most important ingredient. If you're making chocolate-covered strawberries, then yeah. Pretty much, yeah. That's like, I mean, there's only really 2 ingredients, and you missed one of the big ones, so... But that, it happens to the best of us, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Lactose-free and gluten-free. Yes, we have entered the age of the no glutens. I got distracted by the candle section of the store. Ah, okay, that is understandable actually. There are a lot of very fragrant candles these days, all different shapes and colours and scents. Even I get distracted occasionally when I'm walking past. There's like one of those candle stores. We have dedicated candle stores here. I mean, they sell fragrances as well, but if you walk past them, it's actually all candles, wall to wall. But anyways, I got distracted. Soundtrack. True, I got a peach-scented candle. Ah, peach is nice. I tend to go, as I generally don't get scented candles per se, but I do go for incense. And I'll typically go for frankincense, myrrh, or the other one is patchouli. Hey Sarah, welcome in. How you doing? Hope you and Lizzie are doing well. It's happy Friday. So yeah, like I said, I don't get candles too often. I think I've just got like a lavender one a while ago, which I've already used up. But yeah, generally speaking, incense and frankincense, myrrh, and patchouli. Maybe a couple of other ones from time to time. Those are the main ones. I should have went shopping as well. Kind of curious what these stores have for Valentines. Maybe they have discounts or some stuff. But see, that is a very good mindset to have tomorrow after Valentine's Day, because these stores will have all kinds of goodies that they got and stocked up for the day, and when they don't sell them, they're going to have to move them on to get discounts. Although technically it's Valentine's Day here. For you, it's still the 13th, I think. So you'd probably wait until tomorrow. Although 15 minutes is going to tickle across to Saturday, sorry, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, you should. For me, the strawberries were 50% because it's Valentine's Day. Ah, good stuff. And hopefully they'll be fresh. Whereas if you get them in tomorrow, they'll still be okay, but not as good. Damn it, now I want strawberries. I don't have any. There are no fruits in the house right now. Oh well, just means I need to add them to my shopping list for tomorrow. But, yeah, what was I saying? Story time. So, yeah, my colleague, other side of the office, starting to cry in a meeting. One of her friends was taken over there to support her and whatnot, and then they moved her back to her desk, and then before I knew it, she was being escorted out of the building. And I just remember thinking to myself, if you knew that you were going to do that the whole time, why did you bring her in? Why not just have a conversation with her outside so that she doesn't have to go through that in front of all of us? Because to some of us, I mean, no one there hated her. No one hated her at all. She was energized, she was fun, she was kind of derpy. No one hated her. But not very good at her job, unfortunately. And it just, the whole little thing, while I understand it, it did make me think, why do companies do things like that? Why do they behave in these bizarre, ritualized ways instead of just being like actual humans? And I think it stems from the vast majority of people that go into HR as a career just horrible. They're just not normal people. They've failed at everything else. That's what they've gone for. And then when you put them in positions of power, then God, they just destroy things. I've never met a decent HR professional in my entire life. Never. And to be clear, I don't generally get into trouble. Like, I've never been sent to HR. I've never had performance management stuff. I've just been on the fringes of that, and I've just always found them to be god awful. I mean, I'm sure there's exceptions to every rule, but I remember I was in the office today talking to a friend of mine, and I literally just said to him outright, HR is a scam. Just, no, we don't need it. But anyways, yeah, I just wanted to float that because it's been on my mind, and we're going to get into something that's fun and goofy and awful in a grotesque kind of fun way, but I want to get that out of the way first. And, yeah, just left a bad taste in my mouth. But, yeah. Oh, damn, deja vu. Oh, man, this is going to be a good one, that's how you know. But, yeah, what else has everyone else been getting up to the past week? Anything good? Any fun stories? Did anyone conquer the world? Has anyone, I don't know, graduated university yet? I haven't. I have to re-enroll in the next couple of weeks. I don't want to, but I have to. I mean, I don't have to, but I have to because I tell myself I have to get the damn thing done. I got in a car crash. Okay. Wow. Are you okay? I mean, if you're typing here, I would hope that you're okay. And was it like a fender bender or is it a write-off? Because there's different degrees of concern there. Slow speed collision. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yep, just a thump. Alright. I mean, those can still hurt depending on what you hit, how hard you hit, and so forth. Grandma merged without looking. Ah, yeah, okay. Yep. One of them. Well, I'm sorry that happened. That is never fun. It doesn't sound like it was a write-off, and it sounds like you're going to have to get some repairs done. Which is not going to be fun, but that's what we have third-party insurance for. Been grinding Albion online and went to a lot of apartment tours. Nope, car's not... Oh. Okay, so it's probably a bit of a bigger hit than I thought it was. Okay. Alright, that really does suck for you. Especially given... like, it's the Valentines week now. Even for married couples, now's the time to celebrate and to have some fun, if at all possible. So, the fact that it happened now just sucks. But, yeah, hopefully the car gets fixed up and you get that back sooner rather than later. And, yeah, that really sucks. Sorry that happened to you, man. Greg's car was a big 4x4 with the bull bar. Oh, God. Bull bar, yeah. That would explain exactly what it was. You're basically an eggshell. Eggshell in front of a hammer. I mean, I get it, but at the same time, just no. Crunchy crunch. A lot of apartment tours. Okay. Well, that's good, Ewan. I know that you always wanted to find a place of your own. I know that you wanted to get out, stretch your wings a little, so I'm glad that you're actively looking. I'm proud of you. Just, find something that... it doesn't have to be perfect. You're not going to find your forever house on the first try. I mean, if you did, congratulations, but... yeah, hopefully you find something good, and you can actually get this thing going. Vibe in? Pretty good, actually. Pretty good. So, I think I mentioned in one of the last streams that I had a job interview on the Friday. That went really well. And there's a couple of things in motion at the moment, so I'll have a bit more news soon. But I am feeling cautiously optimistic about that. So if that does go ahead, it'll mean similar hours, similar work in the office, which is not ideal, but is what it is. More remuneration and less commute time. So pros and cons. escaping corporate prison. Well, trading one cell for another, but the conditions are better in the other cell, and I don't have a bunkmate who asks me to call him Big Daddy. So, we'll see. Got 2 contracts, but I didn't like the couch because it's grey, and the other reason was that they will enter the apartment whenever they want, so no big. Ew, they will enter the apartment whenever they'll want to. No, that's a big red flag. No. See, in Australia, if you're renting, there are laws which govern when they can enter a rental property, and there's also a notice period. It varies by the states, is my understanding, but if my landlord wants to come here, they need to give 7 days notice, and it needs to be in writing. And then they usually have to arrange access, so usually they have keys, or they have to just wait until I'm here. See, I'm kind of lucky in that for the past 3 apartments I've been in, the landlord didn't keep keys, like a spare set of keys. They literally only had the one, which means it was technically impossible for them to enter unless I was here because of their own incompetence. Now, this time around, it's slightly different in that when I got the place, I got it a bit cheap because it wasn't in the best condition. And part of the problem was there were 2 locks on the door, right? And only one of them worked, the other one didn't, and I'm just like, yeah, that's not good enough, I'm going to fix that myself. So the very first day I moved in, I called a locksmith, I had him come out, and I had him replace the lock that was broken, so now I have 2 locks on my door, which is, you know, just plain sensible. But the unintentional side effect of that is the landlord doesn't have keys to one of the doors, which means technically they can't get in unless they hire their own locksmith, which they're tight, they're cheap, they're never going to do that. And I've always just been very proactive in asking to work from home on days when I know they'd want to come here, so they've never had a problem with it. So it's sort of a balancing act of written 7 days notice, must be in writing. Technically they can't physically get in, and it's in kind of a way which is kind of cheeky and kind of understandable. It's not like I barricade the door and just say no one enters, and I've got the shotgun behind the door and whatnot. I don't own a shotgun, you know, but you can imagine the mental picture. So I've gotten away with it for a while, and I will continue to get away with it, I hope. But yeah, Ewan, that is a big red flag. No, they cannot just come in like that. But in any case, I hope the apartment hunting goes well. Hope it's a safe place, a decent place, and you enjoy it. I remember the first time I moved out of home. It was a mess. It was a mess. Tiny little studio apartment, cheapest thing I could find. Got everything stuffed into it. I left half my stuff at home by accident, so I had to go back. But yeah, I just remember that very first night, I had everything tucked away in the new place. But do you know the one thing that I forgot to account for that first night? I didn't have a bed or a mattress yet. Because the place was so small, I didn't take the bed from home. I literally was like, I'll just get one. I'll just buy one. And I promptly forgot. Which means the first 2 days, I was sleeping on the floor. Oh dear. Oh, I'll tell you a story though. So, the very first place that I rented, as soon as I moved out of home when I was a youngin', I didn't have a bed or a mattress. I'd completely forgotten them. I eventually ordered one online, and it was going to get delivered in a few days. I'm like, I need something temporarily. So I went to Target, or it was Target or Kmart, I can't remember which one. And Kmart's still a thing here, so if there's any Americans who Kmart's pretty much gone, we still have them here. But I just went to the camping section and I bought an inflatable, like an air mattress that you use for camping. I was like, I'll just get one of these, I'll use it for a couple of days while I wait for the real thing to come. And the mistake that I'd made was I forgot to look at how big the mattress was. I was just like, it's cheap, it's an air mattress, I'll use it a couple of times, it'll be fine. I ended up bringing home a double king size mattress that was 1 meter thick. 1 meter off the ground. I am not even joking. 1 meter. I spent 2 hours breathing into this thing to inflate it the first time. When I was finished, it filled the entire studio apartment. It spilled into the little area where the kitchenette was. And when I laid on it for the first time, I was suspended about 1 meter in the air. It was the most surreal night's sleep I have ever had in my life. I was sleeping in clouds. Granted, the clouds smell like burnt rubber, but, you know. I didn't keep. I used the mattress a few more times, but it was just too much of a pain in the butt to keep, so I got rid of it eventually. But yeah, always read the labels, as Ciro says. Always read the labels. It was fun, in a way. I really like my first apartment was tiny, and there was a crazy old guy next door who woke up and screamed the national anthem at 6 a.m. without fail. See, I've never had that. I've had the dudes who break out the leaf blower at 6 a.m. and they start doing freaking gardening and whatnot, which wakes everyone up. So Saturday morning, 6 a.m., just brrr, and there's the freaking... Why do they do that? There must be something wrong with them. You can't hate life that much that you break open the freaking leaf blower at 6 a.m. and ruin everyone's morning. Especially on a Saturday. Who does that? That's not sane. Who does that? Gardeners are my current neighbours, gardening and DIY every... Oh no. Hopefully they're at least not doing it at 6 a.m. Ah, criminy. Yeah. People just weird me out from time to time. I mean, I can't talk because I'm kind of weird myself, but you know what I mean. All people I've encountered just want to talk my ear off at any time of day. I have a resting bitch face and I'm kind of grumpy looking, which means I generally don't get that. People usually look at me and just go, ooh, which is great. Which means I don't have the grandmas and the grandpas trying to talk to me, but it does happen occasionally. It does. And welcome in, Faye, by the way. Hope you're having a good day. It is early morning for you. You must be just waking up. Yeah, good morning. I think it's technically ticked over to Valentine's Day for you, so happy Valentine's Day. About to start work. Oh, okay. Well, have a good day at work. I know you generally work half days unless that's changed, so hopefully you can get through without too much trouble. Because, yeah, weekend is nearly here for you. But, yeah, welcome in. Correct. Hey, I remembered something. It's rare, but it does happen. Anyways, that is enough of my awful waffling on. Nothing much else really happened this week. It's sort of a exciting week, but sort of everything's up in the air at the same time. So I'm just like, it's probably going to land this way. Maybe. Maybe not. Should probably be fine. Slacking day. Just kidding, admin focus. No, have a slacking day. I think you've earned it. Everyone has. This afternoon I was struggling so hard to get anything productive done. Like, seriously. The whole day was just distractions, meetings, random things happening. I mentioned earlier that one of my colleagues got let go. And they just handled it so poorly, so tactlessly. I'm just like, ugh. But, yeah, one of my other colleagues is friends with a woman they let go, and she messaged me, and she's like, yeah, this person got home safe, they're okay. They've got people with them, so... anyways, here's what it is. So, it was Valentine's Day when I started the stream. It's now technically ticked over to February 15th, so I'm free. We're going to quickly talk about some facts about Valentine's Day and where it comes from, and also why birds are not real and Valentine's is fake. And then we're going to jump into this awful dating simulator and just have a good laugh at it. I think it's going to be goofy. Or I hope so anyways. So, St. Valentine's, there's historical evidence suggesting that this dude existed, but it's kind of confusing, so the scholars think there was actually two different people that have been conflated over history. Basically, he was a priest of some kind kicking around during the Roman times which Christians in the Roman times didn't always have the best time of things, a lot of persecution. There were times that they were sort of in charge, but yeah, it was not the best time over when he was kicking around. So the story goes that he was a priest, and what his thing was is that he was basically trying to marry off men who were soldier age, because in those times, apparently, if they were married, they could skip mandatory service as a soldier, so they wouldn't have to go into the Legion for 15 years and come back afterwards. So his thing, which annoyed the powers that be, was, hey, you're young, you're about to be drafted to go to war, instead, come over here, we'll get you married, that'll stop you from marching off to die, potentially. You can thank me later. So that was the thing. Yeah. I mean, my understanding of ancient Rome was that the Legion always existed, and it was like, I think it was 15 years of service, and then if you survived that long, you'd be released and you get a whole bunch of stuff. But, yeah, there was you weren't really returning home for shore leave and whatnot. You were out there, and you were gone for many years. But after you left, you'd receive some plaques and some other things, and you'd have a lot of money. Not as much as we might think. You'd have some cash, you'd get access to property, hopefully. Not the greatest job ever, but I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do back then. She didn't have a trade. But, yeah, that's what old Valentine was doing. Like I said, potentially there were two different people and he's been conflated. My understanding is that the authorities at the time didn't take too kindly to him removing fighting age men from the pool of candidates. So he was trialed, and at some point the judge was like, look, we're going to punish you quite severely. Punish as in kill. But look, you say you're a holy man and whatnot, so make a miracle happen and I'll let you go. And allegedly, he is said to have cured blindness in the judge's daughter. And the judge was like, oh, you've actually done it, so I'm going to acquit you. And the judge allegedly converted to Christianity and pardoned people and all that sort of stuff. But that miracle is why he was entered into lists of saints in the ancient past, and that sort of continued on. He has been removed from lists in some denominations, so Saint Valentine is a thing but not a thing, depending on which list you check. And he is the patron saint of beekeeping, epileptics, and a few other things. I don't quite know where the beekeeping thing comes from, except I made the joke about birds and the bees. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But we love bees. Who doesn't love bees? And I don't really understand where the epileptic thing came from either, but that's the extent of my research on old Valentine over there. Valentine was killed, by the way. Wait, was he killed? I know that he was eventually buried and they put a church over him at some point, and there's rumours that relics of his exist in different churches and whatnot, but it's not confirmed. But there was a story of him curing the judge's daughter from blindness. That's how he became a candidate for sainthood. And the whole birds aren't real thing was a movement that was started several years ago on the internet, which basically claimed that birds were wiped out and they were replaced with drones that look like birds, and they're all surveillance things. And part of the evidence for that was birds all stand on power lines to charge up. Years later, it was revealed that the person who started the movement did it all as a social experiment and a grift. So it existed, the whole birds aren't real movement. You can find clips and videos of it online. But the dude who invented it eventually came out and said, yeah, the whole thing was a scam. It was a laugh. So I say birds aren't real for fun. I don't actually think the birds are not real. They are very real. They are derpy. They are stupid. You get a chicken, right? You get a live chicken, and you have that thing walking around where you're sitting and eating. It is the dumbest thing you've ever seen in your life. I'm not even joking. They are stupid. You cannot make a machine that dumb. But anyways, chicken is delicious, so I forgive him. Honey is a very versatile as a medical aid, antiseptic, I believe. Yes, very true. Honey has antiseptic properties. That's why ancient Egypt, they used it quite often in poultices and other medicines, and I believe they used it in not embalming, but when they would make the mummies, they would use honey in the wraps as well. But yeah, that's my little tidbits regarding the holiday. And as we all know, Valentine's Day was just a scam created by Hallmark to sell more cards and chocolates and knickknacks. So you can enjoy the day, have fun with it, but understand that it is a corporate marketing scam. Same as Christmas. Although, to be honest, I really like the imagery that Coca-Cola created for the Christmas campaign. So the Red Santa and all that sort of stuff. I do like that stuff. I do. I'm not a curmudgeon. But it was all corporatized. It's all nonsense. Anyways, enough waffling on. Let's get into the bird dating. Treat yourself. Yes. Treat yourself to some fun. I treated myself to... What did I have? I had popcorn tonight. Popcorn, so that was my treat. Bit extra carbs. Not great. When I'm doing a low carb, high meat and protein diet. I told you guys before that I kept falling asleep at my desk despite having multiple caffeine pills, so I'm like, let's change the diet to mostly protein, see what happens. It actually worked quite a bit. But the past 2 days I've had some good things happening, so I keep celebrating by, I'm going to have some popcorn, which is carbs, which is fine and delicious, but makes me sleepy. So, I have only myself to blame. Anyways, enough waffling on. Let's do this. We're gonna do the infamous seamless transition. And then we're gonna... And I'm gonna turn things down just a bit because I know that this menu music is really loud and there's no option to turn the sound down, so I have to turn everything down. I treated myself to an art table, Huion H640p, I think for $30, but it's more so an early birthday present. Good. I'm glad. I bought one of those art tablets a while ago on Amazon for super cheap. It's actually right over here. What is this thing? One of the Wacom tablets. It's Wacom 1? Yeah, I was like, I'll buy one of those when it was on sale, and I will try and teach myself to draw a bit better, because it was always on my bucket list to learn to draw. I'm horrible at it. Given by all the dust that just came off that tablet, you can pretty much guess how much use I've actually gotten out of it. I haven't thrown it away, it's still usable. But I'm not an artist. I cannot draw. I will post one of my god-awful monstrosities in a Discord at some point, but like, you guys can, that's the extent of what I can do, that horrible little thing. Neck broke for sure. That looks so unnatural, actually. I went full Swedish chef there for a second. Anyways, I'm going to turn the volume down just a bit because this menu music's going to blow out ears out otherwise, and then when it gets a bit quieter, I'll change things there. It's small extent you like. Alright, turn this down. If this isn't too loud, and movement, and bang. Welcome to St. Oh. So loud. Let me just... No, that's almost as loud as my voice. How's the game audio? Is that blowing your ears out? I can turn it down. Okay, let me turn that right down then. How's that? So we'll drop that down a wee bit. So I've dropped that by better. Alright, I'll drop it a little bit more, so just quickly. It doesn't sound too bad. Alright, I can drop it further, I can raise it up, just let me know if it's too obnoxious, but there's no like volume setting in the game itself that I can see. Welcome to Saint Pigeon Nations? Pidgey. Videos, official human website, like we can 50% off or something. Well, whatever it is, it sounds like you've got a good deal on that tablet. Well done. Yep. There we go. Oh, okay. There we go. I'm just gonna leave it. This whole thing's meant to be cursed. We may as well go all the way. Wacom were top tier when tablets were fancy and new. Now they rely on the good name, but their products are getting worse. It would make sense because I got mine super cheap on Amazon. It would totally make sense that they're just trying to offload old stock. It has a micro USB connection, so that shows you how old it is. Hatoful. I'll just say Hatoful. I don't know how to pronounce this. Hatoful Boyfriend includes a powerful visualization module, allowing even the birdiest of birds to appear as normal humans when first introduced. Display human portraits. My gut instinct is to say no. But we'll go with yes. I'm sure there'll be plenty of plumage on display and we'll get a lot of thighs, but here we go. Human reviews at least seem pretty solid, so I picked it, but it feels weird to use for right now. Here's their faces. Alright, faces it is. Configuration saved. St. Pigeon Nations, a school blessed with extensive curricula and facilities. It's already been a year since I ended my ordinary life and walked through these gates. I should probably say this school is known for one thing in particular. This school is Japan's, no, the world's greatest gathering place for gifted birds. I'll bet. Birds who want to study the arts, the sciences, even sports all come to St. Pigeon Nations. About 24 canvas during the sale. It took ages to set up, but it got to work. I'm pretty satisfied. I have no idea what that means, Zane, but I'm happy for you. Good. Very good. Pebbles, how you doing? So everyone look at Pebbles. Look at Pebbles. She is the reason I'm playing this. Because she recommended it. Now Pebbles, you know how that was that impromptu agreement where I was like, how would I play this and you do a karaoke stream? I'm saying. I'm just saying. I mean, you wouldn't renege on a deal, would you? Also, welcome in. I hope you've had a chance to dry off from all the rain. I agree, Pebbles. We never shook hands. That's totally fair. But I figured I'd go for it anyways because it's cursed and, you know, it's Valentine's Day, so why not? But yeah, welcome in. I'll give credit where credit's due. But I won't hold you to it because you're right. We never shook hands on it. The teaching staff and student body are made up of a diverse blend of birds of different backgrounds and species. I'm often asked why I chose to come here despite not being a bird. It's a long story. Not every day I see you rushing along like this. It's a pigeon. At least it's a nice looking one instead of a manky one. Honestly, I don't think that it would have taken Blake much to actually play this. That is true. I legitimately looked up top 10 cursed dating sims and did some research, and this was at the top of the lists, along with, so Elva, who's another streamer friend, she is playing, the Colonel Sanders KFC dating sim right now. I think she still is. That would also have been on my list because it's just so cursed of an idea, but she's already doing it, so I'm not going to do it at the same time. And Saito is doing me side, which is the other one I was thinking about. Thank you, thank you. I can just see Pebbles taking a bow there. I used to get reminded about the Cthulhu Girlfriend game some time ago. Yes! Play it! Sucker for Love. You will love it. Tentacles. Eldritch Horror. Insanity. End of the World. How could anyone not enjoy an Eldritch dating simulator? Seriously. I mean, I say that, but I still haven't finished it. I've only done 2 of the routes out of 3 of them, so I am guilty. Doobie, how you doing? Burb indeed. Did you get something to eat? Was it pizza? Because I didn't get to have pizza tonight, so I'm still drooling over that. Ryota, usually you'd have been ready for an hour by now. Overslept? Well, why is it not yellow? That's my first question. Why is it not yellow? Huh. This rock dove. Okay, that's clearly a pigeon that you'd find in a park somewhere, pecking at God knows what. They're calling it a rock dove, so okay. Okay, I'll play along. Play along. Yes, not pizza. The bird does not match the human. -1 out of 10. 100%. I agree. Froppy, how you doing? Wait, you're still playing Marvel Rivals? Or have you finished up? Hang on. Hang on. Let me just check on you. What are you doing? What are you doing? Benefits of the internet. There is no escape. Oh, you finished up. Damn it. Oh, that was a very cursed stream. Which miss you for the raid. I'm always half loaded. No, it's all good. It's all good, Froppy. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But, I'm just glad you didn't get caught up in that tape measure and fall over, because as funny as that would have been, and it would have been hilarious, we don't necessarily need you to hurt yourself on stream. This rock dove is named Kawara Ryuta. We've been friends since he was barely hatched. He can be a little mischievous, but he's responsible and kind. Okay, so he's the childhood friend, okay. It was so cursed. This is some real sus stuff out loud. I'm proud. I noticed. But, look, it is what it is. You do you. I'm not gonna judge. Breakfast was a little hard to catch. Oh, he's eating worms. Okay. I can't relax without red meat inside. Living as a hunter-gatherer sounds tough. Wait, that was us that... Oh. We're the savage then, okay. I'd be happy to make you breakfast, you know. I might take you up on that offer when starvation looms. Thanks, Ryuta. Would you let a pigeon cook food for you? Would you? No. Oh, okay. Yeah, I kind of agree with that sentiment. That'd be a bit weird. Yes. I mean, you're a frog, so I guess that makes sense. Got some good clips, unfortunately. Yes, you did. The bell already. Come on, we need to hurry to class. Who says I see Jeepers, actually, so that counts. Jeepers, no good being late on the first day. And so Ryuta pulled me along into the school. Today is the start of a new semester. I wonder what lies in store. It was all I could do to just adjust to the atmosphere last year. Better make for all that lost fun. Oh, that's so cursed. I can hear the noise that these freaking pigeons are making right now. I can just hear them clucking and... Ugh. Pigeon flock, yes. Ah. Well, I wanted cursed, I got cursed. Cheers. The most splendid and greatest academy of the pigeon, by the pigeon, and for the pigeon. At least it's not like the pigeons uptown here. They also go near people. Mm. The ones we have will just crowd right up to your ankles if you're sitting in a park or something. I wonder if you've met my favourite yet. Well, I mean, we just started, so no, I definitely haven't. But feel free to point it out when it pops up. So far, we've met one character. I think we're in 2-3. Yuta and I are in the same class again. Old faces, new faces. A strange thrill fills my heart as I look around at the assembled birds. I hope we all get along. Here's to the formation of many happy memories. Oh, the teacher's here. The hell is that? Good morning, everybody. I'm Nanaka Kazuaki. I seem to be your teacher this year. I specialize in math and physics, and also some other things. This is so cursed. And he fell asleep. Ay. Ay, ay, ay. So, wake up, it's homeroom. Oi. I'm not judging. I am not judging at all, but I just find these more funny than romantic interests. He sleeps with his eyes open? Okay. There's the anthropomorphized version. Again, the colors don't match, so I'm just like, was a teacher a bunny or a bird? He's definitely a burb, because he doesn't have the ears. As in sleeping with eyes open. Ah. I love how there's an anime personification helps with the vision. Oh, I'm sure you're very happy about that. Mm-hmm. Mm. Well, 2D's very popular, so who am I to judge? But, nah. I pass. Its quail is Nanaki Kazuaki. I think I'm saying that right. He's a famously I think that means sleep or sleepy. Soporific math professor. I'd heard the rumors, but I hadn't expected him to fall asleep just like that. Apparently he's well known as a mathematician. Just goes to show great minds come in all forms. I'm scared. What does it mean I'll enjoy it? How many skins did you buy in Marvel Rivals again? And that tier list, yeah, the tier list, I remember that. Did you know that there's a emoji for male pregnancy? I did. Someone showed it to me once and they were just like, oh my god, can you believe this? And my first thought was Arnold Schwarzenegger in, I can't remember the name of the movie, but he did a movie a long time ago where he became pregnant. And he gave birth via cesarean section. So when I was shown the male pregnancy emote for the first time, my first thought was to say, oh, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Damn. But no, that just shows how much of a boomer I am. Ah, I'm sorry, isn't it a little warm in here? Which reminds me, we have a transfer student. Please introduce yourself, Shirogane. What is the point? I have no wish to speak with commoners. Do not think I'm here because I wish to be. Look at that fluffy tail. Oh god, it works. I don't think it's a peacock because well, it could be a peacock. But if it's a male, it would usually have a really colourful tail that stands up. So you'd have multiple feathers, you'd have really green, shimmery designs. In nature, it's typically the male who has to show off to attract a female. So big tails, big everything, shiny, very colourful. So male, shiny, female, a bit duller in colour just because that's how it works. Laplace, welcome in. How you doing? How are you doing? Thank you so much for the 10 months. We were just talking about male pregnancy, so the fact that it's 10 month is, well, if it was 9 months, it would have been funnier, but thank you so much for popping in. And I hope you're having a lovely, lovely day. Thank you so much for the place. This is a dating simulator involving birds. It is meant to be cursed. The stream is meant to be super, super cursed. Yeah, I've seen the pure white ones, which I think are specifically male or female. I don't remember if peacocks... I haven't looked into enough to know if they have... I've forgotten the word, but both genders. Hermaphrodites. I just remember that it was the male ones which were the colourful ones, and why. Didn't realise we got the Omegaverse update for males. I will tell you now, I have heard the term. I know it is cursed and my innocent mind should not go there. So that's all I know. That's all I know. I'm afraid to learn more. It could be albino. Well, no, albino is a lack of pigmentation in colouring. It's not hermaphrodite, which is both male and female sex characteristics. Anyways, my mind went to a strange, strange place. Tell a bad pickup line. Okie dokie. Alright, let's make this as cursed as we can. Okay, so. Alright. Alright. Alright, yep. Yep, here we go. Here we go.